All right, so here we go. Does anybody remember associative? Listen, do me a quick favor before you tell me. Associative has to do with grouping. All right, so I'd like you to put that down. Associative has to do with grouping. All right, which means there's parentheses involved. The identity is when you add 0 or you multiply by 1. Commutative property is when the order changes. And a substitution is what it means when you substitute one value in for another value. So with that brief little review, everybody should be able to look at number 1 and say, that's what? C, commutative property, yes. All right. Now with my little review up top, everybody should be able to say now 2 has to do with what? Now, I think this was put on here to confuse you because I need you to be careful. Associative property, the order has to be the same. Whenever it's out of order, it's going to be what? Commutative, right? It's commutative, all right? We'll get to associative in a minute. So number 1 again, commutative. All right, number 4, identity, right? You're multiplying by 1. Yeah, you're right. What? Okay, now what I would like to do is, let's just review this up here. In order for it to be the associative property, I want you to write the example. 3 times 5 times 7 would have to equal 3 times 5 times 7. The parentheses are in the different place. All right. So that's a nice little review. All right. How do I write 6 increased by 2? 6 plus 2. 8 times a number. 8x. All right, everyone be patient now. Flip the page and you do a couple problems. I'm going to put it on pause for a minute. All right, I don't want to just give you the answers. All right, resume. We'll get to it. All right, number 7. M decreased by 9. Everybody should come up with C on that. All right. Now again, you just do an order of operation here. So 3 times 2 is first. And then you're doing that answer plus 5. So I'm with C on that. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 5 is 11. All right. Now for number 9. All right, again, it doesn't matter what order you do it, but we're just going to go from left to right. So 15 minus 3 today is 12, not a big deal. Here we go. On number 10, you're adding 2 plus 6 first. Then you're doing 8 times 3. And then you're subtracting 10. So 24 minus 10 is 14. All right. Told you it's really easy. A minus B. 11 minus 8. There we go. All right. K plus P. 10 plus 9. Minus 15. I'm agreeing. A. Now for 13, you have to do 4 times V first. So 4 times 3 is 12, and then you add 7. 19. Everybody happy with that? All right, flip the page. Next page should be just as easy, so I'm going to put it on pause and give you 2 minutes. 2 minutes, setting my alarm. Here we go. Again, equivalent expressions means you're just adding things that are alike. 7 and 8 makes 15. So n plus 15. All right. In this case, you're adding the 9 and the 7. So that's A. Thank you. Now, choose the point for 3, 5. So remember 3, 5, what you're doing is, be careful, you're going over to 3 first, and then you're going up to 5 second. So that is what? H. All right. J. So if you're looking at J right here, you're going over to J, which is 7, and then we're going up 4. So D. All right. 18, which relation has a range? Now, I want everybody to remember, range is the Y values. Range is the Y values. Domain is the X values. And I tell kids, remember that by doing alphabetical order. All right, domain comes before range, X comes before Y. Domain is associated with the X values, range is the Y values. So the Y value is 0, 3, 5, 7. 0, 3, 5, 7. So that was pretty easy. A. Everybody's good with that?
Yeah.
All right, flip the page. So which ordered pair would appear in a graph? So what ordered pair would this be? 0, 0, correct? This ordered pair would be 224. This ordered pair would be, so there it is, 448. Everybody good with that? All right. What? I don't know. How did I know the answer was 448? Because 4 is the X value and the Y value is 48. X, Y.
Oh.
That's it.
Oh.
All right, next. Which rule represents the data in the table? If I plug in 0 for A, what should I get for Y? 12. But it says here it's what? 0, right? So it's not A. If I plug 0 in for B, what do I get? So that's so far so good. If I plug in 2, plug in 4, plug in 6, there you have it. So the answer must be what? The answer must be B. With what? You're just plugging in 0 in for X, 2 in for X, 4 in for X, and 6 in for X. You're plugging what? Substitute in for X 0. What's this? Hold on. What is this right here? What does this represent? X is 0, not 0x. X is 0. So if I plug 0 in, what do I get? 12. So it can't be A because we want it to be 0. So if I plug in 0 for X here, what do I get? Finley, you guys are playing around now. I don't know what y'all are doing. I'm trying to help somebody. I don't know what you're saying that for. You've already told me that. Look, these are the X values. Come on, it's so easy. These are the X values. You replace the X, each one, 0, 2, 4, and 6. You plug it in for the X value that is in A. If I plug 0 in for X, what do I get? 12. I'm supposed to get a what? Is that the answer then? No. Right, so now look at B. If I plug 0 in for X, what do I get? Huh? If I plug 0 in for X, you're telling me 0 times 12 is 24. 0, that's where that comes from. Now I'm going to plug 2 in for x.
Oh, 2 times 4.
Is
24. Oh,
now I plug a what in? What do I get? You with me now? All right. What is the domain of the data? We just talked about that. What is the domain? What are the domain? Right. Wait a minute. The domain are the what? X values. Put that down now. Domain is the X values. What are the X values in the table? Yeah, 0, 2, 4, 6. That's all there is to it. All right, domain are the X values, range are the Y values. That's it. All right, let's look at 22. The sum of 2 consecutive even integers is 30. Well, let's look at A. Is 0 and 30, do they add up to 30? Wait a minute, do 0, yes, but are they consecutive? No, so that's not right. 14 and 16, does that add up to 30? Are they consecutive? Yes, consecutive evens. All right, so the correct answer has to be what? Yes, B. All right. So now, Dan uses 1 ream of paper for every 6 hours that he works. If Dan works for 30 hours, how many reams of paper will he use? How many? Because he uses what? He uses 1 ream of paper every what? 6 hours. So in 12 hours, he'll use how many? All right. 3 reams will take him what? 18 hours.
what's a ream?
It's like what they put paper in when they bundle it. Like we say, when they give us paper to copy this stuff, there's 500 sheets in a ream of paper.
Oh, like a big
Stack, yeah. So 4 reams will use what? 24 hours. All right. So the answer would be what? 5 hours in for 5 reams. Okay. Here we go. The number of students sitting in a row in the first 4 rows are 7, 13, 19, and 25. Girls, come on, I'm working. The number of students sitting in the first 4 rows of the bleacher are 7, 13, 19, and 25. Predict the number of students in the next row. Increasing by what? So yes, that's 31. All right. All right. Let's do a couple more. Let me pause it, and I want everybody to do 25 through 31. 25 through 31. All right. The total piece of gum if you have 7 and gave 4 away. Yeah, that's, come on. The time spent playing games if each of the 4 games is 5 minutes. C, good job, guys. All right, come on now, let's practice our mental math here. Work inside, right? 12 minus 4 is 8 plus 3 is 11 times 6 is. Good job. All right, here we multiply the top, 6 times 4, and then 16 minus 4, 24 divided by 12. Beautiful. All right, I told you, easy. Okay, now how many inches in a yard? Who remembers? 36, right? So that would be A. Test divided evenly among 5 scorers. C. All right, we'll stop there. All right.